What's going on, fellow sim racers? My name is Adam. I am not a YouTuber or a social media influencer by any stretch of the imagination. I just wanted to make a quick and to the point video about my sim setup, which is nothing fancy by any stretch of the imagination. If you can hear my dog, please forgive me. There are a family of squirrels outside the window and she is having a fit. Anyway, my sim setup consists of my wheelbase, which is a Thrustmaster T300 RS with the Ferrari Alcantara wheel, the Thrustmaster TLCM load cell pedals, a Playseat challenge, and a Samsung CRG90 49-inch 1440p monitor, as well as a 34-inch LG monitor on top of that. I've been doing iRacing for about a year, and I've gotten a lot of feedback on this setup from people in my league community on iRacing, on Reddit, and also on the Facebook pages as well, on the SimRig setup pages and things like that. This setup is for people on a moderate budget, not necessarily a tight budget, but a moderate budget, and that is tight on space. Those are the two biggest points of this whole video, and there's just some little things that I picked up along the way and that I learned that I wish someone would have told me in the beginning, and that's the point of this video. So let's get into it. So one thing I did want to talk about real quick and put some focus on is the monitor arm. You can see I have everything pulled out real far right now. There's a reason for that. When I first got my monitor, one of the biggest issues I had was finding a monitor arm that would support and do what I wanted it to for the Samsung CRG90, the 49-inch. It's very heavy compared to most other monitors. It's 27 pounds, I believe, 26.5 pounds, something like that, without the stand. So your general run-of-the-mill monitor arm is not going to support this thing. And unless, so at first glance, you would think, based on the small amount of research I did initially, you're stuck with something like the Ergotron HX or something else in that price point, which is over $300, which to me was just ridiculous for a monitor arm. What I ended up getting was the Amazon Basics monitor arm. It sells for $110 new, I believe maybe 120 on Amazon, and it's phenomenal. It works great. All the different adjustments are perfect. It holds the monitor without any issues at all. The only issue with the arm is the tilt function. So the tilt mechanism is not strong enough to support the monitor. It droops no matter how hard you crank the thing. It does droop, and there's nothing you can do about that unless you eliminate the tilt feature. And I don't need it for my setup, and I would imagine most of you out there wouldn't either. All I did is I went to the hardware store. I got a screw, and I place it inside the tilt mechanism right there. As you can see, I just place it in between where the two pieces of metal meet, and I wedge it in there, and it's been that way for about 3 or 4 months now. I haven't had any issues with it. Other than that, this monitor arm is 100% capable of supporting the 49-inch Samsung, and I've had 0 issues with it. The arm the LG is on is just your standard $30 or $40 mount that I got on Amazon. So it's a perfectly good mount. It's just not nearly strong enough to support the 49-inch. I tried. Let's get into the rest of the office setup. My desk is technically not a desk at all. It's actually a countertop from IKEA. It's the 74-inch Carlby countertop in the dark oak finish. The legs I'm using are also from IKEA. I don't recall the name of those off the top of my head, but I have 5 of those in a white finish, 2 on each side obviously, and then 1 in the rear center for support to prevent bowing. That is an issue with these heavier countertops over time. One thing I worked on that I'm proud of is the cable management. There are no visible wires at all from eye level of the desk, so down below the desk and on top. As far as gear on the top, we have the Logitech G915 wireless TKL keyboard with the white clicky switches. Really great board, overpriced obviously, but I'm super happy with the purchase. If you're looking for a low profile mechanical keyboard, there's really not any other competition. And then just a Logitech wireless mouse. It's just a mouse. I don't game other than sim racing, so I didn't need any kind of fancy mouse. Over there we have my wireless HyperX Stinger 7.1 headphones. Honestly, they're not the best, but they get the job done. They're perfectly fine for iRacing and general browsing. So that's the office setup. Let's get into the sim setup. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick rundown of setting up the Playseat challenge. I keep it stored over there behind the door when the door is normally closed. Fits perfectly fine behind there. It's one of the main benefits to having a Playseat. So here we go. First thing I do, obviously, I just move this chair out of the way here. Grab the pedal base with the TLCM Thrustmaster pedals. Put that in place under the desk. Plug in the USB. Grab the Playseat. Nice, compact, and light. Unfold that. One of the best things about the Playseat is once you adjust it the first time, you never have to adjust it again. Unlike things like the Next Level Racing F1 GT Lite or the GT Lite, which every time you unfold that, you have to reset it up to your desired, your desired settings as far as how you're comfortable. The Playseat, you're one and done. It's also a lot faster to fold and unfold. Just plug in your power. I actually did try the F1 GT Lite from Next Level Racing. I had it for about a week and I did go back to the Playseat for the reasons I just listed. And that's it. It's that quick and easy. Like I said, if you're limited on space, or you don't want something permanent, I really believe the Playseat is the best option out there. It's just so fast, it doesn't take up any space, and it really is just a great rig as well, as long as you're not using anything like a direct drive wheel or anything. And then I just have one of these general table side trays that unfold so I can use my keyboard and set my phone and everything over here. Now with the monitors, like I talked about earlier, the monitor arms, I bring out the 49-inch just past the lip of the desk and right in front of my Playseat, so I'm able to get it as close as possible to the wheel. That way I have the best field of view possible, as well as the most accurate field of view possible. Bring out the LG and center her up as well. And just like that, you're ready to go sim racing, guys. You can unlock the side of the Playseat and swing it open to get in. I don't do that. I'm a thin guy. I'm also tall, so I just slide in like this. And just like that, you went from an office ready to race. Alright guys, so I have a test session loaded up here. iRacing is doing updates today because of course they are, so I'm not able to load up a real race, but I'm only going to do a lap or two, and it's just to show you the field of view you can expect to get if you do go with the 49-inch ultra wide. Mine's set at 97. That's what the iRacing calculator recommended based on the distance I am away from the screen and the size of the screen. I feel that the iRacing calculator does know best as far as depth perception and whatnot, so that's what I chose to use. So the reason I went with a 49-inch in the first place over, let's say, triples, was again space and just cost. I didn't want to have to get a whole new PC. My PC I built out of an old Dell Optiplex. It's running an i5 4670K and the 1066 gig. The 1060 is more than enough to power this at full 1440p resolution at 100 frames per second, 100 hertz. That's why I have it locked out. In iRacing, I have it locked at 102. And 1440, 100 hertz is a stock setting for the monitor, so it will downgrade. I just didn't have the space for triples in the apartment, and not to mention, like I said, I didn't want to have to get a whole new PC. So I went with the 49-inch, and I honestly wouldn't change it. I'm very, very happy with the setup. And like I said, 49-inch is a lot better for non-sim racing productivity as well. Triples are just a pain if you really need to sit down and do any kind of actual work. So we're running Atlanta in the Cup Car standard fixed setup. But as you can see, the screen looks great. Playseat Challenge holds up great. I really think, everyone has their own opinion on equipment and whatnot, but I really think you can get whatever kind of wheel and pedals you want. But as far as if you need a setup that folds away quickly and stores easily and is compact, the Playseat Challenge can't be beat. I know Next Level Racing has the FGT Lite and the GT Lite. They're not on the same level as far as ease of folding out and folding back and then storing. With Playseat, you adjust it once. Every time you unfold it, it's right back at the exact position you had it set beforehand. You fold it away, the same situation. The FGT Lite and the GT Lite, both, you have to readjust and find the perfect spot every time with those nubs. And it's just a lot more time consuming, and it's a lot bigger and not as easily stored as well. So I had it for about a week. I ended up going back to the Playseat. So